Hi there. Very good afternoon to all of you, and I hope you're doing well. And I hope everything at home is good. Kindly stay at home and abide by the guidelines presented by the government. As promised, I'm online and I'm here to discuss about a lot of matters that are going on in the market. And many of you have been asking me questions that the market is not going down. Does it seem like it is headed to 7,500, 7,000 or not? Uh, so there are a lot of things on my mind. There are a lot of questions that I need to answer of viewers who have come up with queries with respect to different types of stocks. So the points I'm going to take up in this live feed from my end, apart from answering all your queries that would come up, are number one, the Reliance Jio deal. So although I have put up a comprehensive video just today about it, but I'll just explain a few points about the Reliance Jio deal. Second stock that I would like to talk about is Yes Bank, because people were asking me questions on Yes Bank when I put up that video with respect to selling by large mutual fund, large banks, etc. at higher levels. So what all is going on in Yes Bank? So I'll discuss that, and also with respect to Yes Bank, I'll also discuss about the AMC stocks. Because a lot of question is asked about Nippon Life, Nippon AMC, as well as there are questions asked about HDFC. So I'll not go stock specific here, but I'll talk about the AMC sector altogether and the asset management group and where it is headed on the long run as well as on the short run. So these are the three aspects that I would be looking at in this live feed, apart from answering all your queries after I discuss all of them. Ramzan Mubarak to all of you, as it begins from today here in India. It started in the Middle East from yesterday. And kindly stay home and stay safe and do not roam around places just for the fun of it, and only go out whenever it is extremely necessary to go out, because of the current situation that we are in. So let's begin by discussing about the Reliance Geo deal. And I put up a questions to you all, whoever is watching. There are about only 40, 50 people at the moment. But whenever you see this video later on, when it gets published, my question to you all is, do you think that the Reliance Geo Facebook deal is a positive for the company or a negative at the valuations that it was done? And where do you see the Reliance stock, say, 1 year down the line? So answer that query, and I give you about 10 seconds to write your answer, uh, either on the comment box or in later on down. So I would suggest that you write down the answers, and I'll just complete my analysis about this deal. I want to just disclose that I'm invested into the stock and I bought into it a few days back, 3, 4 days back. This was after the move that took place. So it was not before the move that took place. And I got invested or attracted to the stock just as a trading position. I have done that, and I believe that over the next 6 months, 8 months or so, the stock could surge past 1800, 1850. This is because this deal could change the way people look at Reliance Industries. There are 3, 4 pointers that I want to point out as to how this deal has helped, although I have managed to point that out in the video as well. Facebook has valued this company at 4 lakh, something like 4,50,000 crore. And why I say that, because the deal was at 46,000 crore or so, and that is a 10% stake. So currently, the value of Reliance Jio, without major aspects to it. So currently, major, you can say, without a major aspect of the revenue coming in because of the lockdown, etc. The current valuation of Reliance Jio is around 4,50,000 crore. So going forward, it would be even better. So I believe that Reliance Jio's valuations will increase over the next 6 months to a year. That's one thing. Yes, it could be offset by whatever has happened in the oil industry and whatever is happening there, but then you have to take into consideration where the stock is at the moment. It is not at 1650, 1700, and the stock has fallen to 900 rupees. So all the things that have taken place, I mean the stock fall, etc., has already captured the fall in crude and captured the disappointment of the crude. That's what I believe, and you can take your own decision. So the stock going down to 870, 880 rupees has already captured that fall in crude to negativity, and whatever numbers that come ahead might have been already priced in. That's one thing. Second thing is, this deal sets a framework for many deals to come. Maybe Netflix will tie up with Airtel and so on and so forth, and we could see even greater valuations being given to Reliance because this deal happened first, and other companies are putting in money into other stocks later on. And I don't think the stake would be so high as Facebook has done. The third point I want to make here is that the amount that has been put in by Facebook and the valuation that Reliance Jio is getting is much higher than the valuation at the moment of Bharti Airtel, and that is even bigger than the market share that Reliance Jio currently holds. So 30-35% market share that Reliance Jio has. Reliance Jio is valued at 4,60,000 crore. Bharti Airtel is around 2,80,000 crore. And I have a feeling this premium will only swell going forward because right now, because of the lockdown and everything, the situation is very good for companies which are internet based, which are providing internet facilities because people are looking to stay at home and work from home, etc. So it's obvious reasons why Reliance Jio will even foster even better. One more thing I want to say is that in the June quarter, the numbers of Reliance Jio would be interesting because the amount of, you can say, profitability will increase because the uh, ARPU would increase as 555 rupees. Even I am paying, I am a Jio customer here. I am paying 555 rupees a month rather than 400 rupees a month after deduction and everything else. And all your coupons are gone. That 50 rupee coupon are no longer there. So you're paying 555 rupees a month for the same data pack. So all these coming together would be very beneficial for Geo at the moment, and there is an anticipation of a Geo IPO coming in 2 years time. That's another fillip in it. Plus you need to understand that when market will try to analyze Reliance Industries from going forward, I have a feeling that Mr. Mukesh Ambani would like to have Reliance Geo as a company, sorry, Reliance Industries as a company which is more into technology, which is more into new age technology and internet, providing internet facilities, and tie up with Facebook would really help booster its valuations because Facebook is also listed in the United States. So somebody who wants to play the Facebook thing might well buy Reliance Industries because Facebook has a 10% stake. The same goes with FL, that FL with a 5-6% stake of Microsoft would have a greater valuation, and that's what we are seeing with FL. So the valuations at 23 times looks very attractive, and that's why I feel that the valuations could go up to 28, 30 times earnings, and the earnings might be tepid, but at 68 rupees, the price goes up to 1900, 1950. So that's about Reliance Industries. The second thing I want to talk about is Yes Bank. And before I talk about Yes Bank, here's a small request to you that the super chat feature is on your chat box, so kindly use that facility to support my channel. It will help me grow the channel as well, and also help you get answers from me immediately. So a lot of questions go through the right hand side window, but once you ask questions through the super chat, it will help me answer the questions immediately. So the second stock that I want to talk to you about, and that would be Yes Bank. Now the Yes Bank share is interesting because 3 4 weeks back the stock went up something like 5x 6 7x and went to 70 80 rupees from around 6 7 rupees, and just like that in a few days a week. And people were really gung-ho about the stock, at least in this region where I am staying, that I was talking to some of the investors, and they were really bullish about it, that oh, all right, the problems are gone, the problems of Yes Bank are gone, and it is better to now invest, and the stock would be 200 300 rupees. And I was very skeptical about it. So what has happened is that banks have sold at 70 80 60 rupees, and as I explained in the video, and the stock is back at 25 30 rupees. Now remember that banks have a stake at 10 rupees, and now that they have sold crores of shares at higher levels, they would be absolutely they would be having these shares at virtually 0 rupees because of the selling at higher prices. So the average goes down to virtually zero. So now banks have no problem selling that at 15 20 25 rupees. They'll be always in profit. That's one thing. Second thing is, a lot of people was asking me on the network and on the comment box as to who would have bought then if the banks have sold, and that is my concern, because it could be very much possible when the shareholding pattern comes out later on, that would be the retail investors who would have bought at 60 70 80 rupees 55 rupees, and banks would have exited. So that is my concern, that retailers or retail investors are invested in the stock at 40 50 rupees. Kindly write in the comment box, are you invested at double the price which is currently at? So are you invested at 50 rupees or greater than 50 rupees or not? Kindly write in the comment box, and I'll give you about 10 seconds for that. So that's what I believe, that many of the retailers are trapped in it, and it is very difficult now for people to get into the stock at something like or to buy at these levels, because we could see that the price may not rise. So my suggestion is, do not get into this trap, do not get into the stock. There could be heavy selling even at 30 35 rupees, and later on we don't know what could be the balance sheet etc of the company, what could be the numbers of the company. So kindly take that into cognizance before you invest into Yes Bank. That is my opinion, and take your own decision according to your risk appetite and analysis. Uh, the third stock I want to talk to you about is that would be, as I said, it is not a stock, it is a basket of stocks, and that these are AMC stocks or asset management companies, which are very much in fashion after the HDFC AMC IPO. And HDFC AMC did really well after the IPO and went up something like 4 5x, but since then have cooled it down. So my opinion about the stock, I'm not invested into any of them, and I like HDFC AMC. So if on any declines you get HDFC AMC, even at current levels, it looks good. But keep on adding the stock on decline. That would be my advice to you. But apart from that, other stocks are also good. But just to tell you an idea about the AMC structure at the moment, that these companies are getting inflows for the moment. But I have a feeling that as economy has really stalled, this year will be a washout. So we will keep seeing heavy falls in the market. So I'll combine the market analysis also along with analyzing the AMC sector altogether. So in that regard, there could be ups and downs in terms of the inflows into these companies with respect to, say, investments. Also, AMC companies also do AMC for other goods and services, and for other goods like ACs, etc. And those AMC services might also get affected. Those companies will be getting affected, and indirectly investments into AMC companies like HDFC, AMC, etc. would also be getting affected, because people are more now worried about essential goods and items and worrying about saving their salaries. That in the private sector it is very difficult to understand that whether companies would give salaries for the next 5 6 months. So they would be going towards savings rather than putting money to this in or transferring money to these you can say AMC companies. And hence I believe that the valuations could remain tepid over a period of next 6 months. And in that respect, just buy the best in the business and hold for 3 4 years. That's my understanding. Do not expect AMC companies to do really well over the next 1 year. These companies, along with the other you can say finance companies, anything with lending finance, would do really badly over the next 1 year, and probably after that we could see a recovery or resurgence. Yes, always there will be rises, always there would be you can say upswing in the market where banks and NBFCs will do well. Thanks a lot, Madhav, for your contribution. Bought IFB at 278, KRBL at 110. IFB, you can stay invested. KRBL, I'm not sure. So kindly, you can do research on the technicals of the stock and probably keep a stop loss 10 15% down and exit the stock. That's my opinion. But yes, IFB you can hold for next 2 3 years. It would come back, the stock. That's my opinion. Thanks, Bivin, for your contribution. Sir, can you review Frontier Springs strong financials? Yes, yes, Bivin, I believe Frontier Springs is pretty good, and they provide springs for that railways coaches that are made in etc. And they are pretty good. I feel the price currently is attractive, but any downside towards say 170, 180 would be better. I'll definitely review Frontier Springs in the coming weeks as an exclusive video later on. So keep that in mind. But yes, it is a good company to invest on any declines. But again, it is a very small cap company, so be very careful in investment and do your own analysis. So that would be my opinion. Thanks a lot for your contribution. Along with that, I would like to request you to kindly visit my Patreon site. A lot of analysis on stocks and videos on companies as well as markets are done there. And before people on YouTube may watch it, there are a few exclusive videos that come up on Patreon. So kindly visit the site, become a patron member, and I'll definitely help you with your queries on any stock that you have or markets, any questions, any number of questions you can ask there. So visit my Patreon network as well. Also, I would like to just announce here that maybe in a few weeks' time, maybe in 1 or 2 weeks or later on, I'm going to start with a join button on YouTube, and I would like to just have an opinion on your behalf whether I should start or not, and what should be the price band. I'm going to start with a similar price band or slightly higher price band as to what I'm having on Patreon, because that would be the effort I'm going to put in with respect to individual tiers that I'm going to put up. So kindly stay tuned for that as to what it comes up. And also, I'll help you in that education thing that I keep saying in my videos that I'll start with an education channel. So what I have decided is I'm going to ask for a fee, a monthly fee, and probably help you getting educated into investing into portfolios and stocks so that you manage your own portfolios well. So how about that? But that would have a monthly fee that would be in excess of 2000 rupees or so. I can just tell you that. But it would be of benefit to you that you would not require any, you can say, you not require or require very less help from uh, other brokerage houses or anybody in the investment field, and you would have that knowledge to go ahead and take trades and invest into companies. So let me know as to what you feel about it, and I'll do that over a period of next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how good a review I get. So that's my opinion. So that was about the AMC stocks that I was talking about. Another point I want to make here, and this is about the Bajaj Finance stock. And I was negative about Bajaj Finance at 3000. I was very positive at 3500, 3800 that you buy. I agree with that. But after that, a lot of things have happened, and I have been negative about the stock from 33, 3200 level. It is now below 2000, and people are asking me whether we should invest or not. So, just to give you an idea, just to, in 2, 3 minutes, I'll explain. What is happening is that you need to understand that economy has virtually stalled globally. I'm not talking about India. Globally, economy has completely stalled. People are not working, and even in work from home, the productivity is virtually 20% max, 15 to 20%. For automotive components, so for businesses like textile, etc., the business is completely shut down, and that is why I think that these would be a major effect to companies who lend, especially companies who lend to say retailers. So Bajaj Finance is into retail lending for different types of products. Now there are two aspects to it. Whatever lending that they have done, and kindly put it in the comment box whether I'm wrong or not, whatever lending that they have done recently, say 1 month, 3 months back, they might not be able to recover that amount easily at due time. So there could be NPAs with respect to that. Second thing is the lending process at the current level, because their major lending used to come from consumer goods or consumer durables such as ACs, microwaves, uh, televisions, and most of all from mobile phones. And you look at the mobile phone industry for the last 1.5 month, and it is completely gone at zero, or virtually you can say 1 or 2%. That would have a detrimental effect on Bajaj Finance, because a lot of high-end mobile phones are being bought by you can say retailers or youngsters across India through funding from Bajaj Finance. Also, bikes and cars are being funded by it of Bajaj, like bikes of Bajaj through Bajaj Finance, etc., and FinServ. So both the stocks will suffer, and this suffering will continue as long as lockdown is there, as long as people are not very, you can say, lucrative again in buying things that we had in January, February. If we do not come back to the same, you can say, fervor of buying stocks, it would be extremely difficult to see these stocks come back. And that is why, apart from falling, these stocks will lose the PE rating that they used to have, something like 50, 60 times. They are going to now trade at valuations which are similar to what HDFC Bank, or even lower than what HDFC Bank used to. So the banking sector, etc., and other NBFCs used to. So in terms of Bajaj Finance or discussion on Bajaj Finance, my firm opinion is that the stock would easily go to 1600 from these levels. Do not invest into it unless the number starts coming back. Even if you have to buy at 3000, for instance, it comes to 1600 and you have to buy at 2500, 2800. So be it. But I do not want you people lose money. And that's what I suggest every time, that it is even more important to protect money rather than making money in the market, because only when you protect money that you're able to make money later on. So how do you like that statement? Kindly write in the comment box, and I'd love to read it. So only you can make money only when you protect it. So protect your money. Do not get into that fallacy that it was 5000 and it is now 1900, so it will go back to 5000. For it to go back to 5000, it would be having an, it should have an earning of 150, 170 rupees, because I feel now it will trade no more than 30, 32 times. It's not going to trade at 45, 50 times. So that's my opinion on Bajaj Finance. Okay, so now to answer your queries and whatever queries that are coming in, and I request you that kindly ask questions through Super Chat. It will help me grow my channel, and it will help you also eke out answers from me in a greater detail. First of all, about Kilpest, because a lot of queries are coming up on Kilpest. I am quite confident that Kilpest is going to come up with very robust numbers. Probably numbers that they have done in the full year would come in 1 quarter. And yes, the stock has fallen, stock has struggled, it has come down to 117. I am invested into the stock, and I would be invested until probably the next 2 3 years, or at least the prices go up a lot from here. So it's not just to say 40 50% from here, a lot from here. I am expecting very good, you can say, EPS coming in over the next 2 3 years. I have always explained that the EPS of the company could be easily 20 22 rupees in the next 2 to 3 years. So it should not be trading at 100 rupees, because 3B Black Bio is already trading at, you can say, 3B Black Bio is performing exceedingly well even before this, you can say, approval came in, and it was doing something like 40 45% EBITDA margin. So you need to understand that. So positive on Kilpest, new entry level, probably 110 to 120 would be a better level to get into. But I don't know where the stock will go. It could shoot up to 160. So you might lose out. But yes, if it comes to between 110 to 120, it would be nice levels to add on to Kilpest. Okay, avoid any housing finance, any financial company. So the question asked about PNB housing, a question asked about other housing companies like Enfin Homes, etc. Avoid all sorts of housing finance companies. There's no point of investing into any financial companies at the moment. I cannot suggest you any penny stocks, and I have got hurt in penny stocks earlier, and I would not suggest to you because I don't want you to lose money and others to get into some kind of a trap. Thanks a lot, KJ2050 for your super chat contribution. Your view on buying Tata Motors at 70? Avoid Tata Motors, buy into good consumption companies which good with good EBITDA margins, with good profit growth, at least good 25 30% profit growth, good sales growth. Do not get into this trap of valuations in any stock. I remember someone, I mean, I don't know. A call came in from some advisor that one should buy Tata Motors. The price at that time was around 150, rupees. So do not buy into it. It may go up 2 3 x from here, but do not fall into the trap. You may lose money as well. Please share your views on Godrej Industries and VATech Webback. Okay. Arun, thanks a lot for your super chat contribution. So I'm trying to open up charts for both Godrej as well as VATech. Just for fundamental basis, I think Godrej Industry is good. In my opinion, one can accumulate over the next 6 months, and it should do better than, you can say, other consumer companies. And it has like revenue coming in from all sources, and that's why the stock may not do well over the next 2 quarters, but with the Godrej brand and everything else, these are attractive levels to invest into Godrej Industry. So it is trading at around 260 263, trading at the lows. And the reason why it is trading at the lows is it's a business that comes from Godrej Properties, etc. And once you need to take into consideration, that it is trading at only 10 times earnings, and that could only get better. So in my opinion, buy into Godrej Industries in a structured manner, 10% at a time. VA Tech Webag, if you have bought into it, then hold on to it and average it a little bit. If you have not bought into it, then kindly avoid VATech Webag, because it is related to, you can say, water purification and water drainage, etc., and so on and so forth, and other construction activities, which is completely stalled. But thanks for your contribution. Kindly visit the Patreon site as well. All right. What about Nippon and HDFC AMC? As I explained, HDFC AMC is good, so one can get into HDFC AMC for sure. But again, wait. You need to have an investment horizon of 2 to 3 years, and these levels below 3,000, closer to 2,000 levels are good. But you could see sharp declines in the stock as well, so keep that in mind. SBI cards below 500 is very good. In fact, at current levels, just buy 10% or so, and probably below 500 levels are good. SBI card is a very good company. But again, all these stocks, keep a good 3 4 year time frame. Do not say that okay, I have said that, and you get invested, and probably 5 months down the line the stock is at 350 SBI cards. Then you buy more because the company on fundamental basis is good. I don't know where the markets would head. I'll talk about the markets in between. Just now I just forgot. But if the markets really fall big time, then all these stocks would come down 15 20%. Tanla Solutions probably would fall after about 2 3, you can say 2 3 circuits, probably one more circuit, and so, and it should fall. So one needs to understand that. So probably on declines you get into it. I cannot tell you levels, but 50 55 are very good support levels. It may come to 60 62, and you can get into it. Thanks a lot, Madhav, for your contribution again. Voltas is a buy. I was looking at Voltas, and probably 10 15% down from here would be a big buy. Even at current levels, it is a buy, so you can buy 20% right now. Bata, wait for a decline. It has gone up a bit, around 1200, between 1000 to 1200 of very good buying levels for Bata. Yes. Yes, good stocks, Vicky, Vigard, and Havels. For 5 to 10 years, these are very good levels to buy into other, you can say, small cap consumer names. Do not look at what is going to happen in the next couple of years, but after that, these consumer names are going to do extremely well. So yes, for from a 5 to 10 year time frame, yes, Vigard and Havels would be very good stocks to get into. Well, Dixon is expensive. I believe Dixon has run up. So I was bullish on it at 3,500, 3,400, 3,600 or so. At 40 to 4,300, wait for decline, at least a 15% decline on Dixon to get into. Amber is very nicely placed at 1,100 or so, or even below that at the moment. So Amber you can get into and probably buy on declines. Again, do not invest a lot of your money in the stock. Buy in tranches, or buy say 20% now and wait for declines to get into. You never know, the markets could fall. So just to tell you about the markets, when I'm talking about it, so Reliance, the recovery in Reliance, or the surge in Reliance, has helped the you can say has helped the market a lot, and that has what has stopped the market from going below 88 8700. There have been massive selling over the last week or 10 days, but the markets have not fallen. uh, Thanks a lot, Param, for your contribution. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So, in my opinion, uh, the markets could turn even when Reliance would go up. So it is not that Reliance, although it is one of the big wigs, and would be hard for the markets to fall, because if Reliance would go up, and it is not because I'm invested into the company that I'm very positive, and so Reliance will not fall. If Reliance falls to 1200 or 1100 levels, then the markets could go below 7900 easily, because other stocks are not helping the market. And this is my concern, that as this pandemic is rising, and we are having an extension of lockdown, now the next stage could be when the lockdown is lifted, the stock market could reverse. And that would be a classic case of buy on rumors, sell on news. So when the lockdown was there, everybody was negative. The high net worth individuals and mutual funds and big houses have bought into, or FIIs have bought into it, swelled the stock market, and probably the operators. And then when the lockdown opens up, then people will be gung ho about the uh, economy and everything. And that is absolutely right. Fundamentally, it is extremely positive, but the markets would already have run up. So markets could go to 9600, 9650 from these levels. But that doesn't mean market cannot come back to 7000. So we could see massive selling from that 9600, 9650 levels. I still do not think that the downside is over. I still do not think that this was just a 2 to 3 months scenario. I believe that all bear markets go through a time correction as well as the price correction. The price correction has been extremely sharp. but there's a lot of time left before this correction is over. So a lot of things could happen about the results front with respect to results, etc. And I'm seeing that the markets would require at least the next 8 to 9 months to settle down, and probably 2021 would be the year when the markets would really make a bottom and go up. That is my personal opinion. uh, Madhav, thanks a lot for your contribution again. Your suggestion helping a lot. Great work. Carry on. Thank you, Madhav, for all your contribution. Okay, Vicky Motwani. Entry levels for FL. I have only few at 1250. Interesting share FL is. Actually, I wanted to buy more of FL. I'm invested into the company, so that's a standard disclaimer. Probably if you're lucky to get it at 1100,000, then get into the stock. But again, have a long-term horizon. The next 2 quarters would be difficult for the company. Also, do a thorough research on the stock and only invest into it. It is just a 2,500 crore company, market cap company. So do your own analysis. It is a risky trade. I am comfortable taking that trade, but you might not be. So according to your risk profile, do the investment. South Indian Bank book value is 26. Okay, now this is interesting. This has come in from Shankara Rao. See, in banks and NBFCs, do not look at book value. There is no book value. Once you understand that the NPAs has swelled up, once you understand that the management has probably, I'm not saying South Indian Bank would have done it, but probably hidden some of the numbers, some of the NPAs, or probably swelled up the numbers. The profits have been increased and so on and so forth. So no, don't look at book values in any stock. I used to do that earlier, say 6 years ago, 5 years ago, when I was in the first couple of years of my investment and so on and so forth. I used to look at book value and it is below book value, so let's buy. It is 4 times book value, so it's expensive. But that is not the way to look at stocks. Do not buy into any banks, NBFCs, or anything. I mean, any that includes ICICI, etc. So be very cautious to get into any kind of banking and BFC companies. Shivakumari, thanks a lot for being a subscriber. And you need opinion on Teamlease and Questcorp. Both are very good stocks, and they will do. I believe they'll do really well in this lockdown because they are related to online, whether that relates to, say, on the online uh, recruitment platform, etc. But wait for major declines in the market. And when I say major declines, then what it is: 300-point Nifty decline in a day. When it happens, so you buy 10% of your shares that you want to buy. Then another 300 point, you buy another 10%, and wait for such sharp falls in the market. Even if your stock doesn't fall, you wait for such sharp fall to get into your favorite stock. So both are good. Ram Pandey, thanks a lot for your contribution. Thanks for your analysis and guidance. Thank you, Ram, for your contribution. Kindly visit the Patreon site as well for that. So, and a lot of people are telling me that they are not able to donate or provide, you can say, funding to the channel through the Patreon network. So I'll start with something on YouTube later on with a minimal amount, one tier of minimal amount. Others would be of greater than 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000 rupees. One tier would be of greater 2,000 rupees, in which you'll be able to talk to me, and I'll help you or educate you on how to build portfolios, how to analyze stocks, etc. That would be greater than 2,000 rupees. But other tiers, a couple of, you can say, uh, tiers would be of the join button, would be having a small amount to attach to it, in which you'll be able to provide me with funding here as well to grow the channel. So that would be of lesser amount. SRF is a good stock for long term, but wait for declines. Do not buy when it goes up 6-7%. I think it went up 5-6% on Friday. So avoid that time. But on declines, you get into the stock. That would be good for you. So about the market, as I was explaining, I believe that the markets are precariously poised. I will not say that the markets are bullish unless the news changes. So unless a drug comes out, unless a vaccine comes out, this is a big scare over our head, and this is hanging over our head. And I have a feeling that this lockdown kind of a situation may ease and then may get very stringent and then may ease again, and this will continue for the next 2 to 3 quarters. And that's why I was bullish on Kilpest after they got the approval, because this is not a 1 quarter thing. I believe this could continue for the next 2 to 3 quarters, and hence the economy would suffer, and the market is probably looking at a 1 quarter thing. I think this is going to continue further and trickle down to winters. That's my personal opinion. And kindly write in the comment box what do you think about this opinion. So in that regard, we could see, and the market, you're very gung ho about the market. If it is down 6%, uh, probably you would be thinking that, oh my God, what has happened? And you would think that it has come down something like at 8500, and like that, and so on and so forth. At 8000 you'll not be very bullish. Thanks a lot, Madhav, for your contribution again. Gillette stock in view of barber shop. Well, I think it would gain rather than decline. So it is a positive for Gillette, because a lot of people who used to go to the barber shop will not be able to. And this is a very good thing that you have pointed out. And the stock is cheap at the moment. So I was about to put up a Gillette India video in a couple of days, in 2 3 days time. So you can look at it as well. So it is a very much positive for the company. And I think the stock is primed for a move towards 7.5, 8,000 rupees over the next year, year and a half. But again, do your own analysis and then invest into it. These are good levels to get into these types of consumer companies in which you always wanted to get into but have never been able to. So, nice levels to get into Gillette. Avoid liquor stocks, because there you can say completely avoid it, because their sales have gone down. You would believe that their sales would have gone up, but because of the shutdown and everything else, it has become very difficult for all such companies. I no comments on Alok Industry. Just do not look at penny stocks. If you have bought into it, any rise, just sell. And for the textile sector altogether, if you want my opinion, I am very much negative about the textile sector, and I have said that many times. I made a couple of videos on the textile sectors. You can go through it. That would suffer the most. Apart from the financial sector, it would be the textile sector that is going to suffer the most, because the sector itself requires in the factories for people to sit close together, and I think the social distancing norm will restrict it to open probably even 1 year down the line. So that sector is virtually at you can say at a very difficult position at the moment. So I have large quantity of Tanla. Should I accept buyback? You can put in things on buyback if you're making a lot of profits. I think 81 rupees is pretty interesting to get into the stock for a buyback, etc. Uh, but over a longer period of time, I have just put up my opinion pretty clearly that the stock is headed towards 160, 180, but I don't know when. But the numbers should be good in FY 21. Probably 1 or 2 more quarters of pain of this depreciation, etc. Probably maximum 1 quarter, but it could spill down to 2 quarters. So I'm very positive on the stock on the longer period of time. But if you want to just book some profits, then yes, you can tender your shares in buyback. Detailed video on Dixon like Tanla. I have made a video on Dixon technology, if I'm not wrong. But if you want a video on Dixon similar to Tanla, yes, definitely I'll do that later on for sure. But just to tell you, positive on Dixon, but at 4200, I feel it is slightly expensive, because the June quarter would be difficult for the company, extremely difficult, and probably it's going to spill down to September December quarter. So wait for declines to get into 3000 would be the best level to get into the stock if everything is stable in the company fundamentally. 3000 is good level to get into, but even if you get it at 3400, 3500, it would be good. uh, Vinity Organics is good. Atul Limited is also, but Vinity I'm very positive about. But do your own research, invest. But Vinity Organics looks good. Again, I want to just let you know that the super chat feature is on, and kindly visit my Patreon site as well. I answer all your queries there at all the time. There's no limit to asking me questions there, and the tier starts, or you can join Patreon at only $2 a month. So kindly visit that. SBI Life is a better stock than HDFC Life. That's what I can tell you. Larsen and Toubro at these levels is pretty good, but I don't know when the recovery would come. So at 840, 850, 900 levels, it is good for long term, but I don't know when the stock would continue to do well. For SBI cards, less than 500 is a good level to get into. Cholamandalam Finance is good, but again, the we don't know how much of impact all these lockdown things would have on all these financial companies, whether good or bad. So wait for one quarter, let the numbers come out. Wait for the June quarter numbers to come out, and only then look at financials. Not before that. Not do not look at any financials or bank companies. Thanks a lot, Vishnu, for your contribution. Got stuck at 48 on Yes Bank. What to do? Any up move to 32, 33 levels, exit. Or if you're lucky, you get your price, then exit. Any kind of a up move, my suggestion is exit, because a lot of large investors have got out of it, and there could be even more selling at lesser price because they are already virtually the stocks are free for them. That's what I understand. Probably if you understand better, any one of you, then kindly put it in the comment box. But that's what I understand, that they have sold at higher levels. They have more shares. They, on an average, they would be having Yes Bank shares at lower levels, so they would sell at probably whatever levels, 30, 40, 45. So if you get any kind of surge in all banking stocks and Yes Bank as well, kindly exit. That's my opinion. Avoid Varroc engineering. Any kind of engineering stocks, kindly avoid. Delta Corp is an avoid complete this kind of a situation. What about PVR stuck at 1200? Okay. Now, about PVR, I would say that do not do anything. And whenever it declines a lot, then just average the stock and wait for 2, 3 years. It would come back. Your price would come back. Thanks a lot, Karthik, for your contribution. So, in PVR, what you do is, and if you have any question, Karthik, then kindly shoot. In PVR, if you have bought at 1200, it is not very expensive. Anywhere, I don't know the low level, it could go to 800,000, 900, 700. I don't know when things would improve. If you are a short term trader in the stock, then exit. Otherwise, if you have a 3 year plus time horizon, then this is a good stock to buy at lower levels and just sit on it, averaging it, and probably things will improve in a couple of years time for sure. Okay, I looked at Kiran. I looked at Arman Finance. The only thing I can say is whenever the financials come back into picture, whenever things improve, probably 2 years down the line, a year and a half down the line, only then look at the stock, not in these kind of situations. Avoid Bajaj Finserv. I have given a detailed analysis on Finserv and finance as well. Why to avoid? Kindly look at that once this video gets published. So avoid the Bajaj twins for the time being, even now. Jubilant Life Sciences is a good share, but in pharma, I like, and I have said that many times, I like Ipca Labs, Divi's Lab, and Dr. Reddy's. These are the three stocks I like in pharma. IOL Chemicals and Pharmaceuticals is also good, but that is a small cap company. So do your analysis and only then get into the stock. These are only my personal opinion. Uh, Graphite India is good, looking good because of its prices of its product going up. But again, it is a commodity play, so I do not like commodity play that much. Marico is a hold if you have bought into it. DMart, I would suggest that I'll buy only when the stock declines to something like 1800 or below 1800. I'll not look at the stock before that. I feel there will be a detrimental effect of lockdown on their numbers. Thanks a lot, Shankara, for your contribution, super chat contribution. If you have any query, kindly shoot it. Thank you for your contribution. ONGC at 140, have 500, what to do? I cannot suggest you to sell at 60. That's one thing. But do not buy, but wait for further declines. If it goes below 50 or so, average if it is possible with you, and you'll be able to get an exit at around 100 rupees somewhere down the line, 1 year down the line or so. So that would be my opinion. But again, take your own decision on the same. L&T Infotech is a very good share. I like the share. It was in my recommendation. I'll do a complete analysis later on sometime on L&T Infotech. Bloodbathi, thanks a lot. 7500 Nifty, we will see. So I don't know when, but we will see. Probably in late May, probably in July. But I do not think that the lows are gone. I do not think that we are out of the woods. I think this is going to linger on, and as I explained earlier in this chat, that we could be out in this bear market phase between 10,500 as the bigger most. At most, we can go to 10,400, 500 to 6,000 at the lows for the next 1 year or so. We will be in this range. That's my suggestion. HDFC Bank is a buy, but buy in tranches. Do not buy in one go and just sit on it. You will get declines buying into it. Thanks a lot, Ramikant, for your contribution. Madhav, again, thanks for your contribution. UPL, what is your price, Madhav, in UPL? What price have you bought into? I like the company, and around 300 is very good buy. So 280, 300 is a very good buy level. UPL is. And wait for 2 3 years, it would do exceptionally well. It is only that we are having distress on the farmer side as well, and whatever is happening in the agricultural front, that the company is not doing well, and these all companies would come back with a vengeance later on, 1 year, 1.5 years down the line. Shankar has asked, best two wheeler stock, is it right time to buy TVS? Avoid two wheelers. You're seeing on the ground that these companies will not do well for the next 3 4 5 months. Wait for declines. I believe Hero Motocorp is the best two wheeler stock, no matter what. And any declines towards 1500, 1560 are good levels to get into, say, uh, something like Hero Moto. ब्लडबादी डेट म्यूचुअल फंड, मैं ज़्यादा देखता नहीं हूँ डेट म्यूचुअल फंड को. मुझे ज़्यादा पसंद रहता है कि मैं इंडिविजुअल स्टॉक्स को देखूं और उनमें ट्रेड या इन्वेस्ट कर पाऊँ, या एट मैक्स कुछ म्यूचुअल फंड्स. बट दैट्स जस्ट अबाउट इट, जो कि डायरेक्टली मतलब इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो स्टॉक्स में. Laupala is good, but again, who would be buying their dinner sets, etc.? So yes, a very good company. They have a very good return ratios and profitability. So declines could be bought into. Again, your view should be more than 3 years, because next 1 year would be very difficult for these consumer companies in which the shops are not opening at all. I think Cadilla is a very good buy on declines, and just remember, and people have very short memories. I'm talking of all the investors, especially retail investors. Just remember when the bull run started of pharmaceutical between 2010 and 15. It was Cadilla, Sun Pharma, Aurobindo, Lupin, and then Dr. Reddy's, DV, Zipka. These joined in, and so these will remain at the forefront when the pharma goes. So these five, six companies you have to have in radar. Do not go below this tier in IT as well as in pharma, because as far as my knowledge is concerned, if you have very good knowledge of all the APIs that they produce, the products, etc., how they sell, what are the pricing, etc., then go ahead and buy into other small pharma companies or other companies. But in IT and pharma, as far as my knowledge goes, I look at only large to very good mid cap companies, and that's just about it. And all these companies like FL, Tanla, and now Reliance, which is into digital, and probably Reliance Jio would come out with something of that sort. So these companies, which are new age technology companies, these are different from the similar IT companies. So these are different. Other IT companies, I look at only the large caps. Good. CDSL is a good stock. On declines, you can get into it. It's a good, stable stock to get into. Bata, you can accumulate, but again, it has risen. So my best levels to get into Bata is between 1000 and 1150. That is my opinion on Bata. Shilpa Medicare, I would say an avoid. Bata on declines is a buy. Now, Titan is interesting, and I'll make a detailed video on Titan later on. But my opinion is anywhere around 600, 630, 580, 600, if it comes there, it is a screaming buy. Titan is, and I would be looking at it very closely. So that's my opinion. Do not get into it now, because the next 1 year would be very difficult for Titan, especially Diwali, etc. This time around. Uh, I have a feeling it may not go down to 600, 650, but you will see decline. So if you want a 6 year, 7 year investment into Titan, then start buying into it by in 10% tranches. Avoid BHEL completely. So, all right, thanks a lot for your time, and it was nice discussing things with you. And kindly like and subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get my videos straight away when I post it. In 3 4 days' time, I'll do another live session. Thanks for all your contribution and support that you give to my channel. Kindly watch and share my videos as well. Thank you.